Long ago, in the kingdom of Mahavarsa, there lived a very popular king named Janashruti. He was noble, generous, and known for feeding thousands. He helped people and doing charity for them. He built rest houses for travelers, fed hungry people, and gave necessary things to anyone in need. While he was doing all this with a good heart, the king often felt proud that he was able to achieve so much in his lifetime. He thought it was the best way to accumulate religious merit and to get peace of mind. He used to measure his merit by the amount of charity he had distributed. He was also proud of his kindness and thought no one could be more generous and wise than him. He had become very boastful of his wealth. Janashruti had also mastered the languages of birds and beasts from his guru, which only added to his sense of superiority. One quiet night, when the king was resting on his palace's terrace, he overheard a conversation between two swans flying by. One swan said to the other, "Look at the king's goodness shining like daylight. Don't fly too close, or it might burn you. You must know that today there is no one so famous as him for abundant charities." The second swan was unimpressed and replied, "You speak as if this Janashruti is greater than Raikva. He is nothing compared to Raikva, the cart puller." Hearing this conversation, King Janashruti became restless. Who is this Raikva? He wondered. How can a cart puller be greater than me? Janashruti had a sleepless night. Next morning Janashruti sent his ministers to find Raikva the great soul. It was not an easy task, but with a lot of difficulty they finally found Raikva was sitting under his cart near his small cottage. He looked like an ordinary man. The servant asked him whether he was Raikva. "Yes, I am," was the quiet and dignified reply. The servant went back to the palace and reported to Janashruti. King Janashruti, eager to learn from Raikva, went to him with 600 cows, a gold chain, and a mule-driven carriage. He offered them all at Raikva's feet and requested to accept all this and teach him knowledge of self and divine. Raikva, unimpressed by the wealth, smiled and sent him back saying, "Please take back your gifts. Knowledge of the self is not for sale." The king returned with a heavy heart, but he was determined to get the real knowledge. After few months, Janashruti again came back to Raikva with even more. 1,000 cows, a gold chain, a mule-driven carriage, and his own daughter to be offered as wife. He humbly asked Raikva to teach him the higher truths of existence. This time, Raikva was moved, not by the gifts, but by the king's persistence and sincerity. Recognizing these as qualities of a true disciple, Raikva agreed to teach him. Raikva explained that an outer world air is a great absorber. When fire goes out, its energy merges into the air. When the sun sets, its light fades into the air. When the moon disappears, it too is swallowed by the air. And when water evaporates, it vanishes into the air. So, air takes in everything, it holds the forces of nature. Then Raikva shifts focus at the individual level to the body. He says that Prana, our life force or breath, is just like air. When we fall asleep, our speech, sight, hearing, mind, all these senses go quiet and rest in Prana. So, Prana absorbs everything within the body, just like air does in the outer world. He then points out that there are 5 outer elements: air, fire, sun, moon, and water, and 5 inner faculties: Prana, that is life force, speech, eyes, ears, and mind. Together, these 10 aspects represent the entire experience of life, both outer and inner. All exists by itself. All these do their job without any expectation or the need to be praised. Have neither pride nor vanity for the charities that you dispense. Give, but not with pride. Give generously but not with egotism. Give freely but not to gain fame. Give, but not as something that is yours, but as something given to you by the Spirit for giving to others. What we give as charity is only ours temporarily. One who realizes this truth becomes truly free. Nothing is lacking for him, and he enjoys all things without attachment. The king was extremely satisfied with these words of wisdom that came from Raikva. He fell at Raikva's feet with tears in his eyes. He understood his mistake. He pleaded with Raikva to marry his daughter and accept the gifts that were offered. This time Raikva agreed. Thenceforth, the village came to be known as Raikva Prana, named after the philosopher of the cart. This timeless story comes from the Chandogya Upanishad, an ancient Indian scripture filled with deep spiritual wisdom. The story teaches that spiritual knowledge and wisdom cannot be bought with material wealth. True understanding comes from sincerity, persistence, and humility. The story underscores that charity should be given selflessly, without seeking recognition or praise. Truth is that charity is not just about giving. It is about letting go. But often, while giving, the ego still lingers. When we give without ego and control our desires instead of becoming slave of them, we move closer to the self. This is the real offering, not of wealth, but of inner surrender.